that music coming from? Huh. Oh, there it is. This? Sorry, man. Wow. Holy crap, man. This is nice. You're not so scary. Oh man. What the heck? Marshmallow. Welcome back to G-Shot Outdoors. Today I am going to be doing a little comparison of these two very popular shotguns. On my right, we have the Mossberg 590 Shockwave SPX model, and on my left, I have the Rock Island Armory VRPA40. It was a deer. First, I'm going to shoot this VRPA40. As you can see, it is a mag-fed pump-action shotgun. It comes stock with two 5-round magazines, but you can actually upgrade that to a 9-round magazine. They even have a 19-round magazine, which looks like a freaking banana. And the 21-round drum, that 21-round drum, I'm waiting for that one. As you can see, I've also installed a red dot for a little bit better accuracy and a quicker response time from the recoil. It's a lot better than trying to line up the front and rear sights, although they are actually pretty accurate out of the box. If you check out my other video, I shot at 25, 50, and 100 yards, and even at 100 yards, I was able to hit a 12 by 12 plate. So I'd say out of the box, this is actually a pretty decent weapon, especially for the price that they are these days. After that, I'm going to shoot this custom-built Mossberg 590 Shockwave. As you can see here, it has a beautiful custom finish. Compliments of Easter's custom coating. Check them out in the description below. I'll put a few links to their website, their Facebook, and their Instagram. But it's also got this acid-etched backing plate for the extra rounds. You can see it's pretty significant pitting there to make it look like it's aged. The Magpul pump handle and a spike on the end with a little blood for character. So this gun actually has a tube-fed magazine in comparison to the VRPA40 that had the box-style removable magazine. This magazine will hold 5 2 3/4 shells plus one in the chamber, so that would be 6. Of course, with the VRPA40, it will also hold 5 in the magazine plus one in the chamber, which is 6. However, when you move up to the 9-round magazine, it will hold 9 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. That is 10. On this, you can use these minis, and you can actually fit 8 of these inside the tube-fed magazine, but you have to have a insert, so you can't swap back and forth without taking that insert out. Of course, that's a disadvantage. But you can't even use these at all on the VRPA40 unless you were to side feed one at a time. But if you were to do full 8 in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber, that's 9, versus the VRPA40 can do 9 in the magazine plus 1 is 10. So this barrel is actually a 14-inch barrel which should be a felony, but for some reason it's actually legal and is considered a non-NFA item. The VRPA40 has a 20-inch barrel, so I'm curious to see how the shot will spread, because the shorter barrel should allow the shot to spread a little bit further. So first I'm going to go with a 7.5 bird shot, then we're going to move up to a 9 pellet buckshot, and lastly we're going to try out some accuracy with a 1 1/8 ounce slug. So now I'm standing at the 20-yard line. I'm going to shoot this cardboard you see downrange with the VRPA40 and the 7.5 shot. We'll see how much it spreads. Of course, if you check out my other video, I actually show how the shot spreads at 10 yards, 25 yards, and 35 yards on this gun. Let's go see how it did. So at 20 yards, this bird shot, it spread quite a bit. It's hard to see, but you can see it. There's a few pellets up here, a few down here, but the majority went right in this area, probably right about here. So let's compare that to the Shockwave. So now I'm going to shoot the 7.5 shot out of the Shockwave and see how it spreads at 20 yards. Of course, this is going to be hard to aim because I don't have a red dot. All I have is a little ball and a line inside of that Picatinny rail to be able to aim. So let's see how it does. Ooh, I forgot my ears. So we're coming up on the 20-yard target with the Shockwave, and I shot a little high, which, like I said, it's hard to aim. But in comparison, I'd say there's not a lot of difference with this bird shot. I know it's hard for you to see. Maybe you could see a little better. Oh yeah, you can see on the back. So we're gonna compare this. This is the Shockwave. Let's do it in the shade over here. So on the right is the Shockwave, and on the left is the VRPA40. It looks pretty darn similar. I think we'll be able to tell a little bit better when we move to the buckshot. Now I'm going to shoot the 9 pellet double-aught buckshot. Let's see how this does at 20 yards. That kicks just a little bit harder. So 20 yards with a double-aught buckshot 9 pellet. This is actually pretty close. And I didn't mention, but the VRPA40 actually has a choke option, whereas the Shockwave does not. Right now I have it on cylinder bore, which is basically like no choke. So we should have a decent comparison. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then over there is your wad. So let's see what the Shockwave will do. Now for the double-aught buck in the Shockwave. Okay, so it looks like the Shockwave actually was a little bit wider spread. You can see we still got all 9 shots, still a little high. I am aiming center with that front sight, but with no rear sight to compare it to, it's kind of hard to tell where exactly it's going to go. Definitely not a long range gun. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then of course over here is the wad. So let's compare that to the VRPA40. We got it, you can see here, put them a little bit closer. Left is VRPA40, right is the Shockwave. There is definitely a wider spread on the Shockwave. You see we've got probably 1.5 feet of spread from the 2 furthest BBs versus about 1 foot, maybe 14 inches or so. Definitely a wider spread over here. You can see how tight that center grouping is. Much bigger over here. So now we're gonna move up to the slugs. Look at that deer. They just do not care. Even with me shooting these guns. I think that's a young one. I saw another one walk right through there earlier today. It just doesn't care. Man, that is so tempting to try to shoot that with that slug. But at that distance, I probably won't hit it. That's probably about 120 yards from where I'm standing. And it's just walking down the path. It's amazing. So now for this slug at 20 yards. That was awesome. Now for the Mossberg Slug. Ah! Hopefully I can hit it without smacking myself in the face. Nope. That's why I brought a spare. Man, this is tough. I'm glad I missed it because I didn't turn my GoPro on. Oh, I cannot hit this thing. I'm gonna have to move a little bit closer. Wow, let's try it even closer. Definitely not a long-range slug gun. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have. I'd have to say I'm not really surprised with the difference in spread with the birdshot and the buckshot, but I am very surprised at how inaccurate that 14-inch barrel was with that rifled slug. I couldn't hit it at 20, I couldn't hit it at 10, I had to come all the way down to 5, and even then, it wasn't centered where I was aiming. So it's definitely not a long-range slug rifle, but it is pretty sick for a short-range buckshot or birdshot rifle. So I actually realized on the Shockwave that there are 2 screws on the back side where a rear sight would be, and I was aiming from the top of those screws instead of flat on the barrel. So I was just aiming high the whole time. It actually wasn't the Shockwave, the 14-inch barrel. The problem was me aiming. So I just wanted to throw this in there. I didn't want to give the Shockwave a bad rap. So anyway, as always, check us out in the description below. I got a link for our Patreon. Anything that you can donate for support would be greatly appreciated. You even get some extra content like behind the scenes videos and pictures, and even more to come. Also got a link for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So go check us out. And as always, I love you, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Woo! I love you, and I'll catch you on the flip side. That was a full one. At least I don't have to hit a 2-inch target this time. I've got a foot pit. At least I don't have to hit a foot. Now we're going to try 200 yards again. What kind of fish do you think you'll catch in here?
I don't know. Just kind of fish. Yeah. I don't think I noticed.
Really caught a little pinfish.
Oh.
And look at that hole. That is some hole. See that target. Look at this. Pulling him good now. Really see him down there now.